So, Secret Invasion. You know, this show, I think I held off on reviewing this show at all, really. And personally, it's mainly because, I didn't know how to feel about the show. Personally, I really didn't. These episodes have been interesting. There's not many episodes out now. I believe like three or four of them are out now. I think the third episode is one of my favorite as far as just the overall acting side of things. Now, my problem with episode 3, and we'll get into that. You know what? Let's just get into the whole reviews of each and every episode. So, personally, like I said, the entire show is just, I don't know. It's fine for what it's trying to do. I think it's a decent show. As far as cinematography, it's the best in my opinion. As far as what it visually looks like compared to the other MCU Disney Plus shows. Now, on a writing standpoint, that's when I'm more like, you missed the mark a lot, actually. My problem with a lot of media, especially even with, and I see it a lot with anime, right? It's whenever they want us to feel for a character, they'll throw in last minute information about the character that makes us somewhat empathize with the character. It's not built up properly for the most part. For the remainder of the series and for the huge bulk of a given series, mainly in Eastern anime, you see that they're just either just nihilistic, emotionless husks of a plot. You know what I'm saying? Of a plot contrived villain. You know what I mean? It's not very thought provoking. You don't really care much for their well being as a antagonist because that's the role that they play in the story. But towards the end of their arc or their story, they will throw in again at the very last second of their character development, we would get a flashback scene to better, I don't know, jive with the character. And that was done in its completion when it came to the recent episode of Secret Invasion. And yeah, it fell just as flat as you might think. Like I said, the acting in the scene is good. The acting in the episodes are fine. But it just seems like the way they write these scenes, it just doesn't feel earned in any way. Especially with, there was one scene that honestly kind of feels insulting to black people. It's oh, every single black person has camaraderie with one another because we look the same, which is hilarious to me. Personally, when it comes to this topic in this type of media by these people, is hilarious to me. Keep in mind, this is the same company that willingly decided to cover Chadwick's face when it came to the release of Black Panther in other countries that aren't so, how you say, welcoming to people who look like me. So having them write this scene, it just feels really disingenuous. And that's my problem when it comes to, I don't like the immigrant story that the Skrulls have been doing. I really don't. It's not something that I personally am okay with. As far as getting the Skrulls on Earth and giving them a reason to be villains when they should have been villains in the first place, fine. I think the way they do it is fine. I think it's okay. It's not my idea because I'm sick of everything being turned into political freaking talking points. I'm tired of having people preach to me about ideology and acceptance when it comes to these studios and companies. And that's my issue. It's coming from a disingenuous place. So I'm not a fan of all these freaking, political talking points that they've been hitting on when it came to the themes and the overall story that's been not so, how you say, expertly hidden throughout the plot and kind of just thrown in your face. Again, I'm fine with shows getting political. I really am. As long as it's done tastefully, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as it doesn't seek to demonize every single person that's watching the show who doesn't agree with it, that's my problem. But when it's to this degree, I just don't care. The Skrulls are something I just don't care about because we haven't really had much time with the Skrulls. We've seen a few of them in the scenes, behind the scenes in certain movies. We've seen the Skrulls in certain aspects of the MCU, i.e., Captain Marvel, Spider-Man movies, etc., etc. We've seen them, but we don't know who they are really. All we are just told how they're good. We're told that they're immigrants. We're told what they want, but we don't see it. And now that we're seeing it, it feels premature. It feels like this has been something we should have gotten years ago, personally, in my opinion. And even when it comes to the overall Skrulls as villains, Again, to save budget, they decided to like not have them show their face or their real skin tone or their real face. And you know, I think it's a clever way, the way they do it, the way they weave it through the plot. I think it's fine. You know, it's a bit contrived, but you get it. You know, they're trying to say incognito, and also, yeah, you just kind of gotta roll with it sometimes just for the sake of the plot continuing and progressing. But overall, I really did try to like this show. Like, I'm still trying. Like, even when it comes to like most shows, like I really do try because I grew up with the MCU. So watching it like implode on itself has personally been something very interesting, to say the least. Because you don't really, this is a rarity in modern society where you can see an entire franchise of superheroes nonetheless just implode on itself because of people getting overly political about making good freaking superhero movies and changing unnecessarily things that are already, you know, established in the minds and hearts of literally people who watch and know the names of these characters. And I feel like that's the biggest problem. Like, people want to say that it's not a big deal, race swap this, race swap that, change up this, change up that. People keep saying that it's not big a deal. And when it comes to lesser known characters, I agree with you. I know I got a little bit political, but then again, the entire show of Secret Invasion is slick political anyway. Like, quite. So for me, I just get really annoyed with shows like this because it's like, I want to like it. I see the vision. It's a good concept, kinda, but it just, execution is just terrible. Like, I remember my friend Isaac was telling me about like, my hating ass video when it came to my Superman review that I just posted like a day ago or 2 days ago, depending on when this video uploads, because most likely this will be coming out on like Monday, give or take, because I'm recording this very late, but you don't care. Anyway, the point I'm making is that overall, I just wish these shows were just good again. I wish shows didn't feel the need to preach at you and scream what your morals should be. You know what I mean? And on top of that, like, just entertain me. Like, I wanted a spy espionage type of show, type of vibe. You know, we were never going to get the Secret Wars of the comics, you know, or Secret Invasion of the comics. We were never going to get anything close to that because of, you know, I guess reasons. I don't know. I guess having like big budget characters and shows are just like a problem for Marvel because of, you know, them putting out properties of characters who no one gives a shit about. Like, let's be honest, who really cares about the fact that Ms. Marvel exists? Who really cares? Like, her suit is impractical when it comes to her little scarf thing because a villain could just easily, you know, I don't know, wring her neck through. Like, oh, I don't know, Venom did to Ben Reilly. So it's not a racial thing. Before any of y'all get in my comments, oh my God, he was just a bigot. They literally did the same to a blonde-haired Spider-Man. So it's just like they keep pushing characters that literally no one cares about, and then wondering why it's not making a return on their investment, because no one cares about freaking Ms. Marvel, the Marvels. No one cares. You want to know what people do care about? Scarlet Witch. If you just made her a own movie and had faith in her own movie, it wouldn't be a problem. But the problem is they refuse to do that. But anyway, I don't want to take too much time out of y'all day with me just ranting about how I hate the MCU now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read pretty much every comment. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.